It says we are live. Good morning, everybody. Len Mooney here for Lunch with Len on this auspicious Thursday, March 19th, 2015. And we have a really special guest with us today. And I don't want to spend a lot of time getting started here. I want to get right into it because we don't have a lot of time. As you know, we have to knock it off at noon because we have the Motivation Manifesto coming up. But Cnristina Ervin is with me today. Christina's been doing internet marketing for not a whole long time, but she's really rocking the boat out there and doing a great job. She's been with us in so much of the stuff, MLSP and free daily coaching and the Guru Code, and she's just been a member of all the groups we're in. Most of us are in, and she's been rocking it with Google and Google Plus and getting leads and making conversions. So we're going to hear from her today about how she's building her business using Google. Is that a fair intro, Cristina?
Yeah, I appreciate it very much, Lynn. Thanks for having me on and sharing your call with me today. Hey, everybody, it's good to see you. I see some of my regular folks that are in other communities with me. What's up, Bob Miller? I see you, Chris Schaus. Hey, Debbie Garcia. So I just want to say hey to some of my people out there. I really appreciate you guys coming. Listen, we don't have a lot of time today, Lynn, you want me to just run with it? Guys, if you have any questions, certainly feel free to.
Run with it. I'm checking sound. I had a message from Larry that he couldn't hear me, but everyone else is checking in is good. So, all right, Larry, you can hear now. Good. Okay, good. Let's go.
Sweet. So, guys, I'm just going to give you a down dirty, real quick overview of Google Plus. Literally, there are so many things. Every time I get ready to create something, some kind of training to show what you can do with Google Plus, Lord knows I kind of stumble upon another strategy that I start testing, and even that works out. What I want to just really get into today is just give you a little high level, let you know why I really love Google Plus. Just really quick to introduce you to me for those of you who don't know me. Again, my name is Cnristina Ervin. I live in Northeast Tennessee. Surely you can hear the Southern drawl. And I was born and raised here. I actually got to Northeast Tennessee because I actually came to school here in undergraduate on a full basketball scholarship to East Tennessee State University. Ended up getting the job and kind of just staying around. So listen, I came online probably about 10.5 months ago because, I was tired of just the belly, having meetings with people. I worked still full-time in corporate America, 10, 12 hours a day. And I would have just enough time to go grab an appointment before coming home. And I was getting home really late at night. And I wasn't able to speak to enough people. I knew that didn't make any sense not to leverage the internet to get more warm market. So that's how I kind of stumbled online. When I came online, everybody was G plus or was Facebook crazy, Twitter crazy, Instagram crazy, right? And I just wasn't really resonating with any of those. And I wondered why nobody was talking about Google Plus. And then I got on Google Plus and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in love. So I'm going to do a quick screen share. And guys, as you have questions, certainly feel free to go ahead and pop those in and we'll get those answered as well, okay? And Lynn, you just let me know when you can see my screen.
It's going. I think it's going.
Can you see it? Google Basics?
There we go.
All right. So guys, let's talk about some Google Plus basics, right? Because everybody gets a little intimidated about Google Plus. They come on Google Plus and they see all of this stuff. And they're like, what in the world am I supposed to do with this? And I just want you to know and understand that Google Plus is just like many of you're familiar with a lot of the functionalities, just like any other platform, right? I mean, really, you recognize the thumbs up, the follow me on Twitter, hashtags. Those are all concepts and things that you already know, right? These are things that you already experience on other platforms. And guess what? You still have those functionalities on Google Plus. Some more things you're used to, Facebook groups. You're used to creating groups in Facebook. You can do that on Google Plus. As a matter of fact, you can comment, you can share, and a like on Google Plus is actually called a +1. You +1 rather than like. And I'll show you a little bit more of that here in a moment. But your goal is to really attract followers and friends, just like you do on any other platform. You're trying to just attract followers and friends. You're going to use hashtags and keywords. You can do private chats and video chats on Google Plus. The groups are phenomenal. They're actually called communities, and I'll get into that a little bit more in a moment. But they're phenomenal on Google Plus. So when it comes to posting on Google Plus, I want to kind of show you that really quick. Here's a screenshot of where you would post a message or a comment on Google Plus. And I really kind of just wanted to reiterate, in this area, clearly you're going to be typing your comments. You can actually link to YouTube videos. You can put your links in here for your blogs or something else. You can do your pictures, events. This right here, this little man off to the side, a lot of people are confused about how they send messages to people. It's called a plus mention. And if you just click this little man off to the side, as you can see over here on the right here, that's where you click to find people to send to, whether you want to send to your circles or whether you want to send to individuals. Okay. Again, guys, this is going to be high level. I'm going to race through this really quickly because what I want to do is be able to answer some specific questions for you at the end. When you're on Google Plus, you can certainly use hashtags. I encourage you to use hashtags, right? You'll see in this screenshot here where I've got this box around the word marketing. When you're on Google Plus, when you assign the hashtag yourself, you'll notice that it shows up a little gray color off to the side. That means that you've assigned the hashtag itself. And that matters because if you don't, Google, as long as you have your settings enabled to do it, Google will assign the hashtag for you. You don't want Google to decide what you think is important in your content. You want to decide what's important in your content. Okay? As I was telling you a minute ago about the like, again, in Google, it's a Google Plus, it's called a +1. Right? That means you like something. If you want to share a post, literally you're just going to click the arrow just to share the post. Again, this is just the same thing that you see on all the other platforms. It's no different in that respect. But certainly there are a lot more functionalities and features in Google Plus that the other platforms don't allow you. And that's one of the reasons why I love being on Google Plus. All right. So let's talk about a Google Plus circle. Guys, let me tell you, the power of Google Plus is in the circles. So a circle is going to be like the equivalent of your lists in Twitter or your friends in Facebook. Except for in Google Plus, they're referred to as circles. Now, I jumped a little bit ahead, and really I probably should take a step back here for a moment and just kind of point out to you that Google Plus is the social layer of Google, right? And Google is all things internet, right? And they really want you to have they work towards having the feeling of community in Google Plus. And so that's why they talk about having circles. That's your peeps, so to speak, your audience. You have them in circles. You can have on your private profile, you can only have a max of 5,000 people on your private profile. You can have a business page in Google. And literally for home business people, in the past, you may have seen me do another hangout and tell you that really I don't see the necessity in having a business page if you're in home business, because you should always be cleaning out your circles and everything. So you probably will never get all up to that 5,000. But I have changed my mind on that, Lynn. This is breaking news. I'm breaking it here on Lunch with Lynn today. Okay, I've actually changed my mind. I'm getting ready to create me a business page, because for several reasons, and literally, I just encourage you to sort of plug in. I will be posting things for you to get information on why I think that that's really beneficial now. You can be in circles, and you can have people circle you. You don't necessarily have to accept someone. So if I send you a circle, if I send Lynn a circle request, a friend request, he doesn't have to accept and return the favor, but I can still communicate with him. So that's another reason why I really like Google, because in Facebook, I've got to follow you so that so that Facebook doesn't put me in jail for following too many people that I may not have known, right? And then when I send a friend request, I've got to wait for them to finally see the friend request and decide if they want to accept my friend request before I can communicate with them. But I don't have to do that on Google Plus. I just circle them up and talk to them. Then they start talking to me. So you can add someone to multiple circles. So for example, if I befriend Lynn, and I learned that Lynn has a car business, but I also know that Lynn likes to travel. And then I also found out that Lynn likes to blog. I can create 3 different circles, and I can actually put him in all 3 circles. So when I decide to do a notification one day that's really just for my travel people, I can just send it to my travel circle, and he'll still get that notification. But maybe one day I just want to send it to my car boys and my dudes and my chicks that like cars. I can just send that notification to just my car circle, and he'll still get that notification. This is another reason, another functionality that I really love about Google Plus. The gold is in how you manage your circles, guys. And I encourage you to stay on to the end, because it just may give you an opportunity to sort of get an opportunity to get some training, I don't know, recording that I did on how you can manage your circle and really help you grow your business. Okay. So private chats and groups, you can still do those things on Google Plus. It's called a Google Hangout. Technically speaking, we're on one right now. It's called a Hangout, like on air. But you can still do private chats in Google. Most people just don't realize that the functionality is there. And I'll show you this. It's this little symbol. I'll show you live on Google Plus, so it'll make a little bit of sense once I come off the screen share. But they refer to groups in Google Plus as communities. Again, it's all about the family in Google. We want it to be close knit, intimate. One of the reasons why another reason that I love Google Plus is that the communities tend to be more engaged and interactive. Now, I'm not telling you that you're not going to have the spam fest problems on Google Plus. It's just, for me, I have found that it's not as much because the moderators are pretty much active in most of the communities, and they do a really good job of policing a lot of the spam out of there. But learning how to work those Google Plus communities, guys, I'm telling you, I get about 97% or so of my leads come from Google Plus, and out of those that come from Google Plus, most of them come from the strategies that I've been using in community engagement. So, you can actually explore and search around on Google Plus. On other platforms like Facebook, you can certainly use, the Facebook search graph search to kind of mine and get more targeted on your audience. With Google Plus, you're just using the explore function, leveraging hashtags to do the same sort of mining for targeted audiences on Google Plus. And if we have a few minutes left at the end, I'll kind of show you a little bit on that. Lynn will just have to give me a time check on that one. Another thing on Google Plus, on your homepage, you'll be able to see what topics are actually trending on Google. The #1 search engine on the internet, Google. Yeah, you get to find out what's trending hot. And if you learn to leverage some things that are trending, for example, we just had St. Patty's Day. You can leverage that in your marketing if you do it in a smart way, to really kind of draw some people into your audience that may not have been there otherwise, but you can leverage some content that is already out there just from topics that are trending. And no, I'm not going to have time to get into that today, but think outside the box. I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. So there's some important things that you need to remember about Google Plus, okay? First of all, like I said, it's all about the community. When you're in the communities, you want to make sure that you're hat tipping people, which means you're giving them credit. So for example, if you were in my circles and you saw a post of mine that you wanted to share on your page, by all means share it, but you should always plus mention me, which means put the plus sign and then type my name and then say, yeah, you know, my girl Cnristina Ervin really shared this great information right here. I appreciate it. Blah, 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 right? That's a hat tip. In the Google Plus community, unlike all these other platforms, really, you will stand out if you get on that marketing spammy salesy tip. You're going to stand out, and literally people look down their nose at you. It kind of can be more of the Google Plus communities really is more of a little bit more informed community, I would say. Now there's starting to be a lot of trickle over onto the platform for people who don't really, you know, they're trying to market their business, so it's getting a little bit kind of salesy and spammy over there. But literally, those people stand out negatively by being that way. In Google Plus, they really, really want you to work on engaging. They want you to work on, you know, getting to know people, creating a community. You know, you want to look for engagers. You want to look for influencers. So the community will self-police. Like I was telling you, the moderators are quite active. Now, there are communities that you can find that are all about just promoting your business and they're good with it. Or the moderator might not be active, and so you can spam away. But most communities, the moderators are there. They're pretty good with their community rules. They will let you know, give value, don't be spamming this community. They will warn you. And if you don't abide by that, they will kick you out. I happen to be a moderator of some communities, and literally your post, Google will let the moderators know, hey, this might be spam. And they will either reject or let it go through. And a lot of times they'll reject it. So be an engager, be an influencer, create you a community, a tribe that you have influence with. And give credit when credit's due. So why Google Plus? Look, Google Plus is owned by Google. This is the #1 search engine. Makes no sense not to love it. Guess what? Google owns YouTube. And YouTube is the #2 search engine. Right? So if you ask somebody how to do something, what do? They tell you to, I don't know, go Google it, go YouTube it, right? When you want to figure something out. Why would you not want to leverage the top 2, you know, search engines that there is out there on the internet? You can actually, your YouTube videos, you can auto post them up to your page as well, which also extends your exposure. You get, in my opinion, much more engagement, actual active engagement, because there's passive engagement like a like or a heart, whatever that is, or a +1. That's passive engagement. It says, yeah, I saw the post, but it's, in my opinion, you get much more active engagement with comments and reshares on Google Plus if you are providing value and if you are formatting your content in a good way. Okay. Communities tend to self-police, like I told you. You don't have as much spamming, I have found. You can actually use in-text formatting in Google Plus. So you can bold words, you can italicize words, you can strike through words, and that's something that you can't do on other platforms. By doing so and leveraging long posts, which is something that Google does, actually Google Plus does encourage you to do. You literally can get your information, if you're leveraging keywords correct, for all you SEO lovers. You can actually leverage it to get yourself on the first page of Google. I've found myself there a lot of times for a number of reasons that literally I'm not going to be able to get into today, but certainly for you SEO lovers, I just don't see any reason why you wouldn't use Google Plus as part of your marketing strategy. All the posts in Google Plus are indexed, so they're searchable. That means you can rank your posts, your Google Plus posts. So I've had people actually ping me on Facebook and say, girl, did you know you're on first page of Google? I'm like, yeah, it's not my blog post that's on the first page of Google. It's my Google Plus post that's on the first page. And that's because now you're a part of my world. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit more of that when I get off of this screen share. But it's easier to get your blog post indexed that way if you sort of reverse the way you do it, leveraging long posts and keywords. You can actually drive traffic from your Google Plus to your blog. And then, of course, there's the famous Hangouts and Hangouts on Air. I mean, there's nothing like video, right? So if you're going to have a discussion, whether it's with one other person or 5 or 10 other people, why not do it on a Hangout and have the exposure of video to introduce yourself to help people get to know, like, and trust you more? Just some reasons, just a few reasons why I love Google Plus. And then you can actually create memes right there on Google Plus. You don't have to create them somewhere else and then save them somewhere, resize them and upload them. You can actually create a meme right there in Google Plus. So let me give you 3 secrets, all right, to really help you quickly start getting more followers. Number 1, leverage circles when you're posting. When you post something out and you're posting content for your business, send it out to the public, your circles, and the extended circles. Because what happens is if your content is good enough and people start engaging in it, when they engage in it, that brings their circle, the people that are in their circles, into your world. And that's how you extend your reach. Engage influencers by leveraging something that I like to call magnetic shares. I think I coined that one, but I'm not really sure. I never heard it before that. By using magnetic shares, you can certainly get the eye of an influencer. So if I see somebody, and it doesn't have to be some marketing guru. I mean, if you're in a niche where, you know, it's a health and wellness niche or an exercise niche, and you've got somebody who's big in Team Beachbody or something, you know, then, and you see their post, share it. Plus mention them in your share. Add some commentary, some content to it, because you know your audience better than they do. Add some comments that will engage your audience. Use some really good hashtags and use the in-text, in-post formatting. That influencer will look at you and be like, they know what they're doing. They're getting engagement. That influencer will then come back and say, hey, I appreciate you. Thanks for the share. Plus one it. That exposes you to their audience, and you know an influencer is going to have an audience of thousands of people. And then again, you increase your reach. Guys, I'm telling you, I've done it. I've got some of the biggest influencers on Google Plus commenting on my Google Plus post before. Optimize your about sections. Guys, I'm just going to let you in on a little tip. Hey, Lynn, I hope you don't mind. But, you know, if some folks want to make sure that they're plugged in on my list for my Google Plus tips, I just created a download for your about section. I'm just saying, if they still happen to be around, maybe you'll grant me permission to extend that offer to them, and they can get that download.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to come off of that. You're down with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Cool. So I'm going to come off of the screen share. Whew. We got about 5 minutes left. Are there any questions? That was really quick. I know it was really quick, but I had to kind of rush to get all that in.
Yeah, that's a lot of material. I'm going to have to go back. Well, the good news is that if I remembered to push all the right buttons, this is being recorded, so the recording will be available to go review it again.
Absolutely.
So I don't see any questions popping up here. So I'm going to go, okay. I'm a beginner with Google Plus. I really am. So what's the first thing I'm going to want to do? So if I'm going to go out to Google Plus right now, what am I going to do? Step 1, 2, 3.
The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go over to your, and I'm going to share my screen again. You're going to want to go over to your About page, and you're going to want to optimize your About page. Now, guys, I'm making some changes on mine, so you can't totally go about mine 100% right now because, again, I'm making some changes. But you want to definitely make sure that your About page is filled out. I can't tell you how many people don't fill out their About page, and they're losing a great opportunity. Okay. So you want to have a good tagline out there that really grabs people's eye. Because, listen, first of all, your hover card, that's this right here. Your hover card is the first thing they're going to see. So you want to have some information that drags them. So a good tagline is important. You want to have give a little bit about you, your personality, your quick story if you want to. Tell your passions. See how I've got in-text formatting here? I've got bolds and italicized and stuff. How I've got hyperlinks. You can't really do that on all these other platforms. Give them a link. Let them know how they can get to some of your content. Give them some idea of circles that they may want to include you in. I can't tell you how many people have been circling me for things. And I'm like, where am I getting all these circle requests these days? That lets me know that people are literally going to my About page, which is important, guys. That, you know, you've got to keep in mind, you've got to be tracking things. You track your clicks and stuff like that. This is some great information that if you put it on your About page, it gives you an indication on how often people are seeing it. And it lets you know, hey, I need to make sure and optimize this. You're going to put your education there, put your work there, give them more reason to have something in common with you and reach out to you on, okay? Go ahead and see, I've got links in here to my blogs and all my other social media sites. I literally link to my Facebook. I've actually gotten leads. I've gotten likes on my Facebook fan page because I've got it linked up here on Google+. Right? So put all that content information on there. That's the first thing you want to do. The next thing you want to do, Lynn, is you want to actually have your hover card looking good. I'm actually working on some partnering with a buddy of mine to work on my graphics for all my social media, make them congruent. But dadgummit, have a picture of yourself out there, okay? The next thing I want to tell you is, unlike what you may have heard about all these other different platforms, Lynn, do not run out there and just start circling up everybody and anybody. That is the worst thing you can do. I don't care what any guru told you to do. Don't do it. It is not the thing, because you don't want to have a whole bunch of people in your circles that are not engaged with you.
Right. Okay.
So I would pick a couple of people who are, that have good following, and then I would start to work through those people to extend my my reach. Again, for those people who want to hop in and get plugged in on me, I've actually got this codified a little bit, and I'm getting ready to release that. So you might want to hop on. I'm just saying.
Hop on what?
Hop on. Let me drop a link here.
I got several questions sitting here. Do you have some additional training or a course or anything? I mean, people are asking. It's okay. It's okay.
All right. So I just put a link there in the chat. People can click on that, and they can get access to it. What you're going to get is a recording of a longer bit of this training, and then they'll also get a follow-up training that'll tell them about how to manage their circles.
Okay. I just clicked on it, so cool.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
Cool.
And then what I'm getting ready to release, and I'm working in conjunction with somebody else right now, but what I'm getting ready to release is a series of things that's going to walk you through optimizing your About section, the strategy that I do when I'm going in my circles, the strategy that I do to find engagers and grow my audience quicker.
Okay.
Okay. And another thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to get mixed into a bunch of circle shares, because again, you'll just get a bunch of empty people who are not going to be engaged. Literally, I can post something right now, and I guarantee you within 3 to 5 minutes, I'm going to have engagement on my post.
Okay.
And that's because of my circle management.
Okay. Marvelous. Marvelous. All right. So I don't know, Bob, does that answer your question, buddy? Do you offer a training? Are you okay? You okay with the answer, Bob? Is that your answer? click on this link and then go from there, or do you
Yeah,
have more?
click on that. Yeah, click on that link because I'm actually going to be putting out an announcement soon on how you can get some more. But I do have it. I have it, some codified things ready for everybody. Literally, I was going to release some earlier, and then I stumbled on a couple of other strategies that I wanted to test out.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy how it happens.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All righty. I don't see any questions popping up. Does anybody else have anything they want to ask Cristina? I know. I apologize. Cristina is only available on Thursdays, and unfortunately, we do have the hard stop on Thursday because we go directly into the Motivation Manifesto. So I would have had her on Tuesday, where we could have continued a little longer, but she couldn't make it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lynn. You're my boy, right? So if you want to get your community together another day, and we can maybe schedule a Friday and do a little bit more in depth, deep dive, I'm willing to do that.
Hey, yeah. Friday works for you?
Friday is my best day for sure.
Okay. I'll throw that out there. That's marvelous. Now tomorrow is not going to work, but maybe in a week or so. What do you guys think out there? I'll throw it out in the group, and maybe we can even rattle the cages and bring a bunch more people. So we got a lot more people on our list that are here today. All right, Cristina, absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much, so much. I got to tell you, you move so fast that I got to go back and watch it again. It didn't all assimilate, but it's all there. This Google, the one area that I just know nothing about is Google Plus. It's like this big mystery sitting out there. And,
for bloggers, because Google Plus should be used as a mini blog site. So for you bloggers, definitely get on it.
Yeah, I'm blogging. I'm putting blogs out all the time. So absolutely phenomenal. Okay. All right, we got to go. I got to reboot, clear out cache, and get ready for the next webinar, Motivation Manifesto, coming up in 13 minutes. For those of you who are on, we have a really special training coming up on Tuesday as well. Rick, who's on the webinar right now, will be on Tuesday along with Larry Ryan, and we're going to be looking at some more tips, tricks, and techniques for optimizing video. So helping your video get found. So be sure to be with us on Tuesday. I hope everybody has a marvelous weekend. And Cristina, I saw in your circles too. I saw you like scandals and dogs.
Yeah,
So,
love it.
You want to tell us about scandals, or should we just stop the broadcast?
No, the TV show Scandal. I'm a big
okay.
fan.
All right. I have a TV, but it's not hooked to anything except a DVD player. I don't watch TV. Okay, gotta run. Thank you so much, Cristina. I really appreciate it. That was awesome. That was just absolutely awesome. You exceeded my expectations by 6 orders of magnitude.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Bye, guys.
Take care. I'm going to kill the broadcast. Going once, going twice.